Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here today with Viv from Bala to talk about Maleza, out May 14th on Century Media Records. How are you doing today?
Hi, great, thanks. Thank you so much for your time, for having me.
Thank you for taking the time and diving deep with me into this record. Let's start off perhaps from the beginning. What was the creative process, or how is the creative process behind an album like this? How do you guys work out all the details?
We started creating this album on 2018, and yeah, we spent most of 2019 finishing the songs, and then we recorded on November 2019, I think.
Do you go back and forth between the two of you? Does one work on something while the other one works on something else, and then you bring it all together, or you guys jam in your rehearsal space, and from that jam session, that's how the songs come to life?
Yeah, usually we jam a lot. Most of the songs born when we were playing together, but sometimes it's Angela that brings some riff, or I bring some drums or some rhythms, and then we work from that. Yeah.
Is it always smooth between the two of you? You guys are always on the same wavelength?
Yeah. Surprisingly, we have very common influences, and we work together very good.
What do you see as the biggest musical growth for the band from the first record to this album?
I think that when we released Lume, the second album, that was the point when we started to live more this thing that started to happen. We have a lot of international tours coming up with that album, and we visit a lot of awesome places like Australia, Japan. We went to California, and yeah, a lot of good things happened from that point.
Do you see the progression of the band from album to album as you becoming a little bit more mature and understanding exactly what the sound is? Do you see that impacting how you come together in terms of recording a record?
Yeah, of course. Our first album, Human Flesh, we have spent very little time as a band, and when we record that, and yeah, it was a lot of experimentation, and a lot of finding our path and our sound. In Lume, we had more things clear, but not all of them. And I think that our more mature work could be Maleza, because we've been following this path we create with Lume, but we had more things clear. Our sound were more defined, and we were trying with more things like harmonizing vocals and that stuff.
What do you see being the main message of this record? I felt like you guys were trying to convey something with this album. Do you feel like this record has one main message across the whole album, or each song you guys dive into a different topic?
It depends. Yeah, this album has a more optimistic message than the old one. Lume ended with a really chaotic and apocalyptic message. But on this one, even we recorded before the pandemic, our message were more optimistic. More, there is hope, and yeah, there is a lot of anger and too, because it's the way that we do music. But yeah, I think that is more optimistic message, I think.
I felt like the album had great fluidity from the time you press play with the first song until the time it finishes. You feel like you're on this ride, and you really don't want to get off of the ride because you're really enjoying being on it. What do you attribute to that? Is it the way you guys put the songs together in terms of the order of the tracks, or it also a little bit of the duration of the record itself?
No, I think that that's about the order we choose for the tracks. There is no further intention, or I appreciate a lot your words, and hearing that it's great. But yeah, I think it's just about the order of the songs. There is no more than that, I think.
By the way, I just realized that this album is the longest album you guys have released by 1 minute. It's 24 minutes in length, and that makes it the longest record. uh, is there a reason why you guys like
Yeah.
to keep your albums compact and short around that 24, 20 some odd minute mark?
Yeah, we like to be like our name. That means bullet. We like things that short and direct and aggressive. And for us, there is anything worse than to listen an album and think that that is too much. You know.
Mhm.
So we do that on our live shows too. We love to do short live shows, never more than 15 minutes maybe, because we think that with that energy, more could be too much, you know. So yeah, we love to have albums this short. We think that it's enough, and there's nothing left, and there's nothing, you know. Yeah, I think that
Just perfect.
it is the way it should be, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I don't
not.
know, perfect is a really big word, but yeah.
I just feel like you guys are not overselling. You're not throwing in stuff there that you don't need. What's in the record is exactly what I needed. There's nothing more. There's nothing less. It's just perfect. It's not like you got to the 25-minute mark and you're like, 25, that's kind of short. Let's put an instrumental track here. Let's do this over here and extend it all the way to 30, 31 and dilute the overall quality of the record. So I felt like I could care less about the 25 because the album was so great. I just played it multiple times.
Thank you so much, man. It makes me so happy to hear that. Yeah, that's the point. We don't give a fuck about what it's supposed to be an album, and we made that songs, and we say, yeah, this is enough. It's perfect. No, we're not gonna do something to put on it, you know, to get some minutes more. No, it is what it is. Yeah.
I discovered you guys with this album, and I fell in love with the band, with the sound. I was blown away. Like I'm still picking up the pieces of my brain from that first moment when I heard this record,
Wow.
like it just blew. It's one of those albums that you'll always remember where you were the first time that you listened to it. It has that lasting impact.
Wow.
And one of the things that I loved about it was that I couldn't pinpoint what I was listening to. Like I didn't feel like you guys are defined by a genre. It's like there's a little bit of grunge, there's a little bit of punk, there's a little bit of stoner, there's a little bit of alternative, there's a little bit of like everything, and I couldn't define it. Are you okay with not being defined by a genre? Is that what you want?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much again. You're making me so happy to hear that things. Yeah, it's one of the most difficult questions to answer in the interviews. Like, what kind of music do you would you say that you do? And it's like what we eat and we are what we listen to. So yeah, there's a lot of punk, because I love punk, and there is a lot of stoner because Angela is super stoner girl, and there is hardcore, there is metal, there is a bunch of influences. We don't like labels at all, you know. It's like it seems that maybe music you have to be here or you have to be here, and no, why? If you can have the best of all of them, you know.
Yeah, just sprinkle everything in.
Yeah. I know.
The album has a very raw energy to it. Is that an extension of who you guys are as people, as individuals?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm crazy as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, Angela, when you see Angela, it's a pity that she's not here with us. But when you see it, you see like this blonde girl, super, yeah, hi, and then start singing. It's like what? And it seems like two different persons, you know. But yeah, yes, it is the way we are at all, of course.
And that energy, like it really comes across on this album. Like the album felt to me that you guys recorded it live but somehow finish it off in the studio. Do you get that impression that the album has a little bit of a live raw sound to it?
Yeah, in fact, we had the songs, but not all of them were finished. And we always love to arrive to the studio with things that are not chosen yet. And yeah, we the way we recorded was Angela was in the other side playing guitar, and I was inside with the drums, and we were looking at each other like, okay, now here, and then of course there was a click, and that stuff. But yeah, it was very organic the way we like to record. We are one of our favorite parts are live shows, and that in live show is where you can find the more authentic Bala.
Mhm.
We are animals, live animals, and that's what we enjoy most. So when we record, we want to have that energy and that connection that we have when we're playing together. I want to see Angela, and Angela wants to see me and say, okay, and now we change, and
Yeah, that vibe.
So yeah, probably it's very similar to record live.
The drum sound on this album is phenomenal. So I really want to ask you, did you do something different for this record? Did you try something different?
No, in fact, when we record Lume, I loved it because the drums we recorded in another studio, and I actually recorded the drums in the hole of a stairs of the stairs like Bonham in Led Zeppelin, with a lot of echo, and it was amazing. And this time when we went back to record, we couldn't go to this place to record drums, and we record everything in the same place, and there was no tall roofs and nothing special. But I think that the sound is more compact
Yeah.
and more direct. There is no hole at all, but you can feel it like in front of you. So I really like it. Nothing special that I can tell.
Yeah, I felt like the
Just
drums
banging
were,
so hard.
yeah, they were very punchy. Like they didn't flat out. Like they didn't have a flat sound. They gave almost a heartbeat to how the song comes across. They gave, perhaps the best way to describe it is, they made the songs feel a little bit bigger.
Well, thank you. I think the only trick is to play as hard as you can, and that's all.
I love that.
Like bleeding, like whoa!
Just destroy
Yeah,
everything. Just destroy everything.
that's it.
How was it for you guys in terms of the lyrics? Because most of the album is in Spanish, which for me, I'm Portuguese, so like I could understand what you guys were saying. So I feel like I don't lose anything regardless of where you go with it, either be English or Spanish. But how is it? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to do the lyrics in Spanish or in English?
Actually, we started singing in English because English, and so our heads are very down to the English sound and in the English metrics. For me, it's so much easier to write in English because everything sounds great in English, and it's easier to talk about anything in particular. But something happened when we start singing songs in Spanish. That happened on Lume. On the shows, you can realize that people were singing back your songs. And that was a breaking point. That was like, okay, this is another level. When you start to see it, and you see people dancing and yelling your song, it's like, wow, okay, this is another league. So we started writing more in Spanish. It's true that Angela always says that she feels more confident writing in Spanish, and for her it's more authentic, you
Hmm.
know.
Natural. Yeah.
Yeah, natural, because it's the way she thinks. For me, is more difficult to write in Spanish. It's not easy to say things that make some sense. Maybe you say something that has no sense in English and it looks great, but in Spanish it's like more obvious, you know, like you're not saying nothing. And I love lyrics where you say nothing. So yeah, but I'm trying. We always share the lyrics too. It depends on which part sings each of us. So yeah, it's easier because if Angela starts a lyric, I just have to continue it that way, you know. So she puts the topic on the table, so it's easier. In fact, the only song we have just two songs in English in this album, and one of it is X, and it's total mine. So that's why it is in English.
Yeah, I honestly I like both aspects. I like the English in the Spanish, but for me, like maybe I'm biased because it's not like the Spanish is it doesn't feel foreign to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I understand what you guys were saying, and because of that,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it almost made the songs feel a little bit more heavy. You know, like you guys had a little bit of extra kick.
Yeah, a lot of people tell us that, like, wow, I've never listened to metal in Spanish, you know. It's like, oh, here it is.
Yeah, I think for me it was really cool. I honestly I really enjoyed it, and that takes me to my next question, which is about my favorite song on the album, which is "Quieres Entrar." Uh,
Wow.
that track, that track blew my mind.
It's a raw song. Yeah, me
Like,
too.
like,
It blew my mind too.
like when I was listening to the album and I got to that track, I stopped. I walked over to my son's room and I said, "Okay, you got to listen to this song." And I put the headphones on him and I pressed play, and he was like, "What? What? Who is this? Like, this is incredible." And I was like, "Yeah, this is just one song of many on this record. You have to listen to the whole album." So that was the experience with that track. How did that song come together?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that song too. It's a song from Angela actually. She bring it. We heard the instrumental and the stuff, and when we were recording the album, Angela started to sing that way. I was like, Jesus Christ, what is this? This is magic, because you know she's a very quiet girl, and she's like, yes, super correct all the time, and I'm not the way. I'm just like the crazy one. And she's always like, yes, yes, oh, thank you. Thanks. Okay, record, press play. Okay. What? It's like, Jesus Christ, when you have sons, your sons, I'm sorry for your sons when you have it, you know, like, come on, go. The dinner is ready.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
wow, she
exactly.
sings like crazy. Yeah, it's
And
awesome.
it's so mellow at times. So the way it starts off so mellow, and then suddenly it's like somebody turned the knob of the volume from like one all the way to like 20, and it's like, holy crap, what's happening here? It just hits you right in the face. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
a
yeah.
boxing
It's
match.
awesome. It happens the same in Agitar, the first single. She's like, me has descubierto durmiendo con el teléfono. And she starts yelling. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Keep calm, keep calm. Everything is right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
that's one of the things I really love about the record is those bursts. Like it's just it goes from being like super quiet and nice to the point where you feel like somebody's like grabbing you by your neck and just like choking you. And I think that's one of the beauties of the album.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm
The,
so glad you liked, man.
the last question I have for you is when you look at the band, when you look at the records you guys have done up until now, including this album, what do you feel that it sets you guys apart from other bands?
I don't know. I don't know, man. This is a tough question, because I had more bands and Shella had more bands too, and we couldn't say at first that they were worst or in fact, I have more bands with a lot of more of work in the composition and songs and things. A lot more, and this is super organic. This is the first thing that comes up, and this is just great. This is a song. This is a new song for Bala. Great. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that song that people always say like, wow, it's like the attitude, you know, when you see us live, we are like going nuts, and we don't give a fuck about anything, just turn the amps to the 12 and we start wow, and breaking that. So when you see us live, probably you could say, wow, maybe the attitude uh, makes us stand up from other bands.
Mhm.
But I don't know if it's just listening. I think probably would be the mix. You know, like okay, this is not just the stoner. This is just not punk. This is just not metal. This is like if you eat all that genres and you vomit them. You know, like there
But
is
in
a
a good
piece of
way.
this and there's a piece of this. Yeah, or not in
Or
your
not.
worst hangover in your life. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
depending on what's causing the vomit. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be positive or negative. All right, I see it. Well, V, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate chatting with you. This album is phenomenal. You guys blew me out of the water, and I can't wait to see you guys play live somewhere, anywhere around the world. Maybe next time I'm in Portugal. You guys, I know you guys are playing some shows in Portugal, so maybe everybody gets lucky and we'll get.
Yeah, we have we start next week and we can't wait, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, it will be a pleasure and to meet you in person. And I will say you the same. Thank you so much for your time, for your words. We're so happy you like it. And yeah, the next time we see us, I hope to see you in a mosh pit or
Oh yeah.
dancing or grabbing a beer and
I'm
enjoying
going to
it.
be going.
Yeah,
I'm going to be going crazy. I'm going to be going crazy. You'll see
yeah.
one crazy old man in the crowd. That's going to be me. That's going to be me.
Okay, and you'll see a crazy drummer like going nuts too. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. All the best with the release.
thank you so much. Have a great day.
Me
Thank you
too.
for your time, and hope to meet you in person soon, man.
Me too. Me too. Take care. Bye. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you. Obrigada.